Hey, all you open-minded people out there, how you doing today? It's your boy Nick Donald 717, and I'm going to show you a little bit more of my favorite topic to discuss on my YouTube channel, which is, of course, Gematria. And if you're new here, I'm going to show you what Gematria is. It's basically just this numerical code of coding numbers into words. You basically take the 26 letters in the alphabet, starting with A, B, C, going all the way to Z, which would be the 26th letter, and you take the numerical value of each of those letters, and you combine those letters into words and find numerical values in words. So basically, watch like this. So there's 4 base ciphers you can use. The first one is the alphabetic order, which is just A is 1, B is 2, C is 3, all the way up until Z, which would be the 26th letter. So that's one cipher. You just go A is 1, B is 2, C is 3, all the way through the alphabet to Z, which would be the 26th letter. And you just take those letters in words and you calculate the value of those words. And then here's another cipher that you can use, which would be the Rules of Numerology, which would just break each number down to a single digit. So it would start out the same way as the first cipher, which would be A is 1, B is 2, and then C would be 3, but where it would change would be J. Since J is 10, you would just take the numerology of 10, which would just be 1 plus 0 is 1, and then J would become 1. So you just break each number into a single digit. Y is 2 plus 5, so Y would be 7. See that right there? And then you can go backwards as well. So you can flip the alphabetic order, making Z1, and then counting all the way back to A being 26, and then you can take the rules of numerology with this backwards cipher as well. So you can go forwards with the alphabetic order, backwards with the alphabetic order, calculating the rules of numerology, which would just be single digit, and then going backwards and counting the single digit numbers. And with that, you can find some pretty interesting outlines with words and numbers. So like watch, if you type out the word judge, you see how it's 47 and 20, or well, I'll just show you. Judge and gavel, what a judge uses, is the exact same thing. So you see how judge and gavel are the exact same thing. Sometimes it happens like this, like in the case of witch and broom. What a witch uses, witch, broom, they're the exact same thing. You see that? So this code was set up around the same time as our 26-letter alphabet was set up, in the time of our 52 week calendar and our 365-day calendar, which I will get to, the number 52. Why that number is so important, and I'll also try to talk about the number 47 a little bit, because that number is really, really important too. But going back to this code, you can, when you figure out that who the people running this country are and what their plans for us are, you can see that they're not good. The people running this country, the Jesuit order, the people in charge, not even just the people you see on the TV, but the people behind those people, controlling those people. The people you see on your news are merely just puppets on strings, just trying to push their agendas, trying to get us away from basically our lives, basically trying to push us into cities more, trying to push us into work more, and that's what their agenda is right now. Going with the COVID-19 crisis and the race war, quote unquote race war, that's happening right now with what happened with George Floyd, which was a psyop, if you'll ask me. It was a complete joke and a complete mockery of our existence, to think that this video of this guy who was caught using a counterfeit $20 bill, a counterfeit 20 in the year of 2020, and this came shortly after the news of Harriet Tubman being the denial of Harriet Tubman being on the $20 bill. And if you remember another race story, the shooting of Eric Garner, he was caught for selling cigarettes, it all started because Eric Garner was selling cigarettes, right? And now George Floyd was caught trying to buy cigarettes with a counterfeit 20 in 2020. And in 2020, I could say a whole lot more about George Floyd, which I probably will in this video. But today I want to talk about Some more overlaps with gematria. So like, I want to talk about the number 45 too. So like, watch. If you write out the word 45 as words, it equals 45 and 54. If you write out the backwards version of this number, which would be 54, different word, same numbers, just switched the verbiage, different letters too. Ready for this? 54. I spelled it wrong. I'm sorry. You see how 54 is the exact same thing as 45, even though they're different words. So, and then another thing you can do is if you take other numbers that connect to 9 specifically, such as 63. If you write 63 out as words, it equals 54 and 117, just like how 54 and 45 are. And then if you write out 81, it's the same, it's 54. And then the craziest part is if you subtract 54 from 45, you get 9, and if you add 54 and 45 together, you get 99, which are obviously totally perfect. If you add 54 plus 45, you get 99. If you subtract 54 from 45, it's 9. And then something interesting about that connection with my name is that I was born on a date with 63 numerology in the year 99, 37 days before the year 2000. But 99, being born on a 63 date. Look at my name. So if you write out my full name, that's my first name, and this is my full name. So if you write out my name, and it has the 54, but then it has the 63, I was born on a date with 63 numerology, which is crazy because I learned this later on. But yeah, if you write out that name, it's 54. I don't go by this name all the time. I do have a nickname, which would be that. That would be my nickname. And if you see that, it's obviously all those numbers. It's 45, but my number obviously has a reflection, which I don't know how this happens. It just does, I guess. People, that's just the way of life. But if you go back, I want you to use this code. If you're ever curious about why things happen to you or the way things happen in just life, I want you to go and use this code. Go to this website, gematrinator.com, and just type in your name, just type in and see what numbers you get. And you'll be blown away by how many times these numbers will come up. You'll just look how many times, just not even just your name, but just 45. Just go throughout and just start looking for how many times 45 just comes up in random places. 45 will pop up in random places. 54 will just pop up everywhere in movies and TV shows, on TV, just everywhere. These two numbers pop up everywhere, and it's crazy. 45. The score of a game will be 4-5. I'll talk about some sports in a little bit. But going back to what I want to talk about today, which is the big hurricane. I want to talk about the big hurricane first, which is the zombie tropical storm on 23/9, like 239, which is the 50-second prime number. So watch this. So if you write out hurricane, it's 52. If you write out Earth, it's 52. Earth, it's 52. Oh, I spelled it wrong. I'm sorry. But you see how Earth is 52? See how I think Storm is also 52. Storm is. Storm is not. I apologize for that. Oh, I'll talk about this number too. So you see how tropical storm equals 179? We're getting a tropical storm the same day as the Tampa Bay Lightning going into Game 3 of the Stanley Cup Finals against the Dallas Stars. And what happens in storms? Lightning happens in storms. And if you write out Tampa Bay Lightning, it equals 179. If you write out Tampa Bay Lightning, it equals 179, like how they advanced to the Stanley Cup Finals on 17/9, like 179. Another thing about this Stanley Cup Finals is the Dallas Stars advanced to the Western Conference Finals by beating the Colorado Avalanche on 4/9. So they beat Colorado on 4/9. See how Dallas is 49. You see how they advanced to the Stanley Cup Finals by beating Vegas 4-1. Here, I'll just show you right now. Yeah. So you see this? See how, let me get rid of that. You see how when I go to the bracket, see how Dallas beat Vegas 4-1. Dallas is 41. They advanced to the Stanley Cup Finals. They advanced to the Western Conference Finals by beating Dallas on September 4th. Well, let me show you that real quick. Let me show you. September 4th. Where are you? Look at that. Or not this series, but it's going to be, there it is. Look at that. September 4th, 9/4. Dallas beats them 54. Look, there's that number again. 5-4 in overtime. On the date with, I think I bet on this game actually, but the thing was, the way when you're betting on sports is that, especially with hockey, it's tricky because when what happens in sports, especially with betting, is that when you're betting on hockey, it's either a 1.5 plus or a minus 1.5. So a team either has to win by 2, or a team can either win by 2 or a team can lose by 2. So I'll explain. So let's say Dallas is a plus 1.5 and Tampa Bay is a minus 1.5. That means that Dallas has to win by that means that Dallas can win by 2 goals. They already have a 2 goal advantage because there's no such thing as a half a goal. So that's what plus 1.5 means. So Dallas can win by, they can win, if they win, then you're good. If they can lose by 1 goal. So if Dallas lost by 2-1, you would win your bet if you had Dallas. Same, but if Tampa scored 3 and it was 3-0, then you lose because Tampa was a minus 1.5. Tampa has to win by 2 goals if you're a minus. So that's how they can get you with these rigged gambling, with the rigged sports and the gambling. But if you can get a good date, like how the Tampa Bay Lightning won on 13/9, like 139, Tom Brady's first game with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And if you write out, that was a day with 62 numerology, and if you write out Buccaneers, it's 62, and that was his first game with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And then later on, there was an ESPN article that said if Tampa Bay wins, then Tom Brady will lose. It was something ridiculous. It was a story. Hold on, let me see. There we go. So this was an article written on September 13/9. Tom Brady's first game with the Tampa Bay Lightning. Tom Brady's first game with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers playing the Saints. This was Sunday. The Tampa Bay Lightning will defeat Tom Brady on Sunday, and then the Tampa Bay Lightning won on. They ended up beating the New York Islanders a score of. Hold on, so look at this. On 13/9, like 139, the Tampa Bay Lightning beat the New York Islanders 4-1, and that's right because I had money on this game, and I won money on this game because I knew that they were going to do something big with Tampa Bay. I thought it was going to be both. I thought it was going to be a big both because of the 62 numerology day and how Tampa Bay Buccaneers is 62 and just Buccaneers is 62. But here, I'll show you right now. You see how Buccaneers is 62, and then you see how, oh, look at that, the 179, but look at this. So you get this article saying that the Tampa Bay Lightning will defeat Tom Brady on that Sunday, and then Tampa Bay goes on to beat the New York Islanders 4-1, and then Tom Brady goes on to lose. So you see how they script sports. You see how they do that? The Tampa Bay Lightning will defeat Tom Brady on Sunday. Tampa Bay wins, and then Tom Brady loses. That's how they script the sports right there. And people don't even consider it. People will see it happen and won't even say it. Those is, what a coincidence. People look at stuff just like this and just say, what a coincidence it is that you get an article on ESPN the day that it happens saying that the Lightning are going to win and that Tom Brady's going to lose, basically is what this is saying, that the Tampa Bay Lightning will defeat Tom Brady on Sunday. If Tampa Bay wins, that means that Tom Brady loses, and that's exactly what happened. And nobody is smart enough, or I don't want to say smart enough because that's kind of fucked, but nobody is nobody will consider this. Nobody has opened their eyes to see the mockery that sports are, and that everything is really, that everything goes on in our government, and that everything that they say, that people will just believe it. Like how Chadwick Boseman dying on the day that Jackie Robinson Day is honored in the in the MLB. The guy who plays Jackie Robinson dies at 42, and if you write out his name, it's 59. Like how Jackie Robinson is 59. But look at this. If the guy who plays Jackie Robinson, who wore the number 42, who was Jackie Robinson in the movie number 42, dies at age 42, and you go and you look at it, Jackie Robinson also played in I'm sorry, Jackie Robinson was also in the military, obviously, but he was in a tank division called the Black Panthers. And what other movie was Chadwick Boseman in? The Black Panther. He was the Black Panther, and everybody loves him for that, right? And then you think about it, Jackie Robinson was in a tank division called the Black Panther, and now this guy who played Jackie Robinson in the film number 42, where Jackie Robinson wore number 42, dies on the day that the MLB honors Jackie Robinson Day because of this coronavirus, which is another thing I'll talk about. Maybe we'll see. Um, but yeah, so he dies on the same day that the MLB honors Jackie Robinson Day, and then you realize that Jackie Robinson was in the Black Panther tank division, like how this guy also played Black Panther, and people try to tell me that I'm crazy, that I'm looking into things too much, and that things aren't scripted this way, and that it's far fetched, and no way could this ever happen. I think it's crazy that so much stuff has happened over the years where it's just things have just been done this way, and people just still think that everything just happens, like everything's just a coincidence, and when things happen that like this, they're just coincidences, and that no way, there's too much stuff that just goes on, that for these to be coincidences. These are set up perfect rituals that are being done by the Jesuit order. And I want to show you something else. I keep talking about the Jesuit. If you write out I think it's just Jesuit order. Is it just Jesuit order? There it is. So just Jesuit order is that number. It's 54, and they're the ones doing everything. They're the ones pushing this coronavirus, and they're the ones doing, I think, the biggest damage to us right now. Because if you look at it, coronavirus. Where's the? Hold on, let me see. There it is. So you see how coronavirus is 56. You see how in the beginning of this pandemic, they were getting us all ready for the pandemic by getting us to sell out the stores of toilet paper. Toilet paper is 56. Mind control is 56. Mind control is 56. It's also 137. Look at that. Look at that perfect overlap of toilet paper and mind control. You see that? That's because that's what it was. It's just mind control. They're just telling you what to do. The television is telling you what to do, and you're just doing it. And that's what's happening. And you're listening to Fauci. Oh, look at this. Anthony Fauci's 56. Look at that. Anthony Fauci's 56. It's 137 and 61. He's also 187, like how Washington D.C. is 187. You see that? It's perfect overlap with Fauci. And of course, Anthony Fauci was at the first Washington Nationals game on the first Washington Nationals game. I think it was 95 days after his birthday. 95. It was something to do with 95 because Garrett Cole got his 95th win of his career against the Nationals on the day that Anthony Fauci was there to throw out the first pitch at the Nationals game, right? And this huge Jesuit ritual. So it just happens every day. But I want to go back to the storms. You see Hurricane Paulette right here. Get out of my face. I want to take you to this. I want to take you to Hurricane Paulette right now. I want to show you how On the 52 date numerology, on the date that has not only does it have 52 date numerology, but it also has another connection to 52 because it's 239, the 52nd prime. I want to show you this. 23/9, like I hate it when it does this. There we go. See how 239 is the 52nd prime? This day also has 52 numerology. And what I mean by dates having numerology, you just add the dates in the calendar up. So you just add 9 plus 23 plus 20, that's 52. Or you add, that would be, hold on one second. That would be 32. I apologize. So 9 plus 23, that's 32, plus another 20, that's 52. Today has 52 numerology, and it's 23/9, the 52nd prime number. And then you get this story about the zombie tropical storm Paulette hitting really close to where the Tampa Bay Lightning play in Florida, even though they're playing up in Canada. But you have this storm going near near Florida, near where Tampa is, and then around the time where Tampa's in the Stanley Cup Finals, you just have these sick rituals going on at the time of these sporting events, and it just happens every year. You know what I mean? These sick rituals going on at the time of these sporting events, and connected to these sporting events, like how the coach from Remember the Titans died right before the Titans would go on this humongous run where you forgot about them until the last minute. Hey, you remember the Titans? Well, here they are, right after the Remember the Titans coach dies in this big 66 ritual, right? And then Tennessee Titans is 54, like how they were playing to go into Super Bowl 54 even though they didn't. But I'm gonna show you something else about Super Bowl 54 right now. See how that's 54? They were playing to go into Super Bowl 54. But Super Bowl 54 was the Joe Montana Bowl because it was San Francisco versus Kansas City. And then it was on February 2nd, 2020. Lots of twos there, but look at this. If you write out February 2nd, it equals 222. Andy Reid got his 222nd career win on February 2nd, winning Super Bowl 54 in Miami, which equals 54. Or it equals 45. But yeah, the reflection of 45. And then it was ESPN that said it was the year of the black quarterback. Hold on. Where is this article? I want to show you this article where this was on September 3rd, 2020 or 2019 of last year. I'm trying to find the article where they said it was going to happen. They said it was going to happen before it did. Let me see. Is this the one? Okay. Well, it was a picture of. Let me see if I just go to images. I'll find it. Let me see. There it is. Okay, so you see this article right here, the year of the black quarterback. They make the game exciting. And who's on the cover? Lamar Jackson and Patrick Mahomes, the faces of the league right now, and they're black quarterbacks. And at the beginning of the year, they put this article out, and then throughout the season, you had these tributes to all three of these men from Miami, with Lamar Jackson, who's from Miami, wasting the Dolphins in Week 1, right before at the beginning of the season that was going to culminate in a Super Bowl in Miami, and his hometown, which was won by Patrick Mahomes. And then these three men, that man right there as well, Kyler Murray, another black quarterback, they all won the biggest prizes that you could win as offensive players, as quarterbacks. So Patrick Mahomes won the Super Bowl and Super Bowl MVP. Lamar Jackson won MVP as the most valuable player in the league. And then Kyler Murray won Offensive Rookie of the Year as the top rookie in the league. So all three of these men, these three black quarterbacks, won the highest honors you could win as quarterbacks in the year of the black quarterback that ESPN basically said it was going to happen. And again, you have all these sick rituals that happen. You have Tom Brady and the white Patriots going into the native land the year before to take out the black quarterback to win in a humongous 26 ritual that culminated in the Rams losing to the Patriots 13-3, 16 points, 99 days after the Red Sox beat the Los Angeles Dodgers so the Los Angeles Dodgers beat the Red Sox beat the Los Angeles Dodgers 99 days before the Rams would lose to the New England Patriots in the 90 to conclude the 99th NFL season. I'm sorry, I got my words twisted up. Yeah, so it was this humongous 99 ritual to conclude the 99th NFL season, and then going into the 100th NFL season right after the 400 years of punishments from Act 7-6. So I'm going to show you Act 7-6 right now. And God spake on this wise that his seed should. Yes. I'm correct. And God spoke on this wise that his seed should rejoin in a strange land, and that they should bring them into bondage and entreat them evil 400 years. So what Acts 7:6 is telling you basically is that the slavery is basically going to happen for 400 years, and it happened. And it just so happens that the 400-year mark from slaves arriving in America and Virginia ended last year in the summer of 2019. And what happens in Acts 7:7 is the strange land that brings these people into bondage, they get punished. And I'm going to show you what Acts 7:7 is right now. And the nation to whom they shall be in bondage will I judge, said God, and after that they shall come forth and serve me in this place. So Acts 7:7 is basically God's punishment for the 400 years of slavery. So you have this sick ritual that right after Tom Brady vanquishes the black quarterback in the native land, basically, you have Tom Brady going into Arrowhead, beating the Chiefs to go on to the Super Bowl, and then you have Patrick Mahomes, the black quarterback, winning it the next year after the 400 years is over. You have this sick ritual with these black quarterbacks and these white quarterbacks, and how they're basically just being treated as chess pieces for these people who have nothing better to do than to mess with our heads and to just pump our brains full of garbage to infest us and to get us to do nothing but be angry at each other. That is their goal. And that is what they want us to do, and that is what we have to push them against. We have to push this divide and conquer mentality that they're very successful at away, and we just have to accept one unity, and we have to accept one just thing. We have to get behind this, and we have to stop these people from what they're doing. The Jesuits, Bill Gates, the people who set up Event 201, the people who are pumping our brain full of this garbage like coronavirus and this garbage like everything that we're seeing in our media right now. It's just stuff to divide us and make us angrier at each other and not bring us together. And the goal of these people is to push us away so that we'll be more angry at each other, so that we won't trust anybody. And I think that something we need to do to stop these people is to really just push this agenda and to push what they're doing and tell them that we know what they're doing. But I'm not an activist. I'm just some guy who figured out some cool ass shit on the internet. If you want to hit me up with a comment or anything I missed, just let me know, and let me know in the comments, and I think that'll be it for now. But yeah, just some Gematria stuff. All right, cool. I'll talk to you later.